everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and I've got something a little different for you guys today. Okay, when I first started garment sewing in particular, one of the things that I found completely magical and wonderful was that all of a sudden I was able to make clothes that fit my boobs. Fitting is definitely one of the things I get asked questions about more than anything, and while this doesn't solve all fitting issues ever, wouldn't it be so nice and so easy, this is something that has been probably my biggest fitting issue that I have found for myself. And so hopefully by going through some of this, I'll be able to help others who have a similar issue. So that issue is full bust. Now I realize this can also go for small bust, honestly. I find, especially in tops and dresses, because that's the hardest thing to fit on me. I completely understand that some people are the opposite and they have a harder time fitting pants and skirts and things in the lower half of their body. And it's basically kind of the same thing. Because my bust is so large, in order for things to fit my bust, they hang off the rest of my frame. I'm only 5'2", and I have a relative, I'm not a petite frame, but I'm a short frame. So everything, I don't have petite bone structure, but everything on me is short. So I am short, even though in proportion to my hips, my shoulders are a little wider, they're still narrow in comparison to like an average frame, because again, everything on me is short. My arms are short, my fingers are short, but they're not delicate, if that makes sense. Legs are short, everything on me is short. Short and stubby. But I found when I was shopping in ready-to-wear, in order for things to fit my bust, I would have to buy things so much in a size so much larger, especially like button-down shirts. It just wasn't worth it. Sleeves were halfway down my arm, or the shoulder seams were halfway down my arm. Actually, this is a little bit of a drop shoulder, but anyway. And sleeves then were like way too long on me because I had to go up in size in order to accommodate my bust. Now, I would think that this would be the same thing if you had broader shoulders and a smaller bust. You would have to buy things to fit your shoulders, and then you have weird bagging in places. So basically everything I'm going over today would also work if you had a larger frame and a smaller bust. So basically anyone that is, I say disproportioned, everyone is disproportioned if you want to get right down to it. But if you find that in size ranges, ready to wear, and in sewing patterns, if your either frame is bigger than your bust or frame is smaller than your bust, this hopefully will help solve some of those issues. So what I have for you today is some pattern companies that draft for larger busts. This was a complete game changer for me just because it takes out, granted, doing an FBA, a full bust adjustment or a small bust adjustment is not hard. It's just an extra step, and sometimes you just want to sit down and sew. So while I don't mind doing that every now and again, a full bust adjustment, I really enjoy when patterns already have done the hard work for you and they have cup sizes available. So I'm going to go over some pattern companies that draft for either larger busts or that have the option for cup sizes in their sewing patterns. I'm also going to go through with you at the very end of this video, as we're nearing the end of our 30% off coupon code for Smuggler's Daughter, some wonderful fabrics that she's got up there. I just kind of want to highlight a few, actually more than a few. I kind of went a little nuts, but we'll go over that at the end and what I would do with those. But first I want to just talk about some pattern companies that do accommodate for larger busts. Now, I am pretty sure I probably have not caught everyone on here, especially because in the sewing community, a lot of independent pattern companies have heard the cry for more size inclusivity and are releasing wider size ranges and also cup sizes. So I'm sure this is going to be an ever-changing list, and I'm sure I've missed some. So if you have any pattern companies that you know that either draft for a larger cup size like a C or a D, or that have cup size options, let me know in the comments below if I haven't mentioned them. Number one, I would love to know that, and then I will definitely share that in maybe a follow-up video later on down the road. Okay, so let's get started. Number one, all the big four patterns, I say that. Simplicity, I would assume Berta. I never sew with Berta patterns, and I don't know why. There's no real reason why. And I don't think New Look does, but I could be wrong. But definitely Simplicity, Butterick, McCall's, and Vogue all have a few patterns in their areas also I wanted to make a note. The description box is going to be chock full of links, like out of probably will take me much longer to actually put that together than it does to tape and then to tape. I just aged myself to video and then also edit this video. So check down below for links to everything I'm going to talk about. But those four, the big four pattern companies, all have a line of custom sizes. It's usually custom sizes or custom cup or something like that. They're named each a little differently, but they are basically patterns that have been drafted for, usually there's an AB cup front, a C cup front, and a D cup front, depending on what the difference between your upper bust and full bust happen to be. So I always, when they have new pattern releases, go and check that section to see of the new pattern releases what is in those sections. And I almost always buy them just because I think, well, later on down the road, I can adjust it to make it whatever I want. So that's number one. You're also going to see me looking down at my computer. I have everything written down here on my computer. So that's number one. Definitely check the big four because they have some fantastic options for the custom cup sizes. And again, it just makes sewing for your bust so much easier. All right, now we're going to get into independent pattern companies. The first one that I came across that did cup sizes, like actual cup sizes, was Cashmere. And Jenny does a phenomenal job with both sizing, and then she has like a huge range of cup sizes. I think she goes maybe to an H cup. I'm not 100% on that. I know she goes at least to an H cup, but her sizing is amazing. She just released the most gorgeous summer dress, and I'm going to pop a picture of it up here. I'll pop at least one picture of patterns of each of these pattern companies. I have personally sewn with Cashmere Patterns, and I love them. They just take, she also does some full bicep. Some of her dress patterns that have sleeves, she has like a full bicep one. If you have a fuller arm, like upper arm, that are just phenomenal. She just really nails it when it comes to fit, especially fit for a curvier figure. And I bow down to her. But her new dress pattern, it's a dress and maxi skirt. It's just summer written all over it. It is gorgeous. I'm in love with it. So yes, Cashmere definitely. Another one is Itch to Stitch, and I've actually not sewn any of her patterns, but she has a very large range of patterns, number one, and number two, her woven patterns almost always come in up to a double D cup size. And I think she has a very wide size range as well within her patterns, but I'm going to pop a picture of this top right here. I love this top so much. And I think that this would be fantastic actually for a future capsule for me because it kind of ticks all the boxes for my personal body style and kind of, you know, my soft classic aesthetic that I'm kind of going for. But I am definitely wanting to start, she has a couple of free patterns and I have them, I just have not made them up yet. But I am definitely eager to try one of her cup size patterns because her stuff is really, she's got some really neat things up there. And again, I think almost all of her woven stuff comes in different cup sizes, which is amazing. Next one is Designer Stitch. This was a new to me company this year. It's my Sedona shirt is Designer Stitch, and she also has cup sizes and has a really neat array of patterns as well. Again, I've only sewn the Sedona. She uses industry standards with the seam allowances, which actually allows you to sew faster because you don't have to do any grading or clipping. Her instructions are out of this world. And hopefully I popped a picture of there. And she has a new pattern that was just released that has a really cool, like, knotted front that, yeah. So I go to her website and look at all her stuff. She's got some amazing things and a very large size range as well. Okay, one of the fabric pattern companies that has recently gone back and kind of started redoing some of their stuff is Jennifer Lauren Handmade. She has released cup sizes for a few of her woven dress patterns. And expanded sizing a little bit as well. But I will be making her Quincy dress for, it's one of the patterns for Sew My Style next month in June. So I'll be making that up here really quickly. But I was very excited to see that she had a CD cup option. Actually, no, her isn't CD. She has an A cup, a B cup, a C cup, and a D cup front for this dress. And so I would assume that would be the way it would be for the other of these. And a lot of her dress patterns can be interchangeable, different. You can match the different bodices with the different tops, which I think is fantastic bang for your buck. And I've heard wonderful things about her. Again, I've not made anything of hers yet, but I have the Quincy dress pattern is actually cut out. And I'll be making it in that new, wherever it is, that cotton lyocell blend that I bought from Joann's. All right, next, Closet Case Patterns. Now, she is in the process of redoing her size chart and creating a whole nother line to have greater size inclusivity, which is fantastic. But I will say her Chica Blazer that she just released does have different cup fronts, which is, it's the first time I've always had issues with button-ups and always had issues with blazers, because those are the things that really need to fit in the shoulders, and then they don't fit my boobs. But I have made the Chica Blazer. You guys haven't seen it yet because it was in conjunction with Minerva Crafts, and that'll actually be coming out at the end of June. So you will be seeing all of that here really soon. But I am so in love with this blazer pattern. I have like 25 more planned. In fact, I'm making my mom the blazer in a black wool, and I bought 2 of her interfacing and kits for, so one for my mom, and then I'm going to make myself another one, I think, maybe for fall, but I might do a linen one for summer. But anyway, her stuff is always just the instructions, everything's drafted to a T. She just does everything right every time. And also her Sophie swimsuit has different cup sizes in that as well. So those are 2 of hers. And again, that could all be changing here real soon. She could have, I have no idea what her plans are, but I think that hopefully by the end of the year is her hope, I think, to really be working on expanding her size range. So hopefully there'll be more cup size options in the future from her. The next is Charm Patterns, which is Gertie from Gertie's blog for Better Sewing, or that's what it started off, but Patterns by Gertie. Her Charm Pattern line, which is her independent pattern line, because she has done some stuff for Butterick and now Simplicity, but her own personal pattern line has multiple cup sizes. And she just re-released her L'Amour dress with different styling options as well. And again, I've not sewn any of her charm patterns, but I'm so tempted to buy both this L'Amour dress and also the Night and Day dress, because she just does a lot with the, 2 different bodices with, I think the Night and Day dress is like 2 different bodices with like 6 different skirts, and there's like collar options and different sleeve options, and again, multiple cup sizes. And her booklets I've seen, it's like a novel, and like a pick your own adventure, she calls it, for those of you that are familiar with those books from back in the 80s. But you can basically kind of create whatever you want. And the L'Amour dress that she just re-released in the extended sizing, also, she released some more options. So you can really create kind of whatever your little heart desires. But again, she has a large cup range as well with her patterns. Okay, Colette / Seamwork, both of them, they are drafted for a C cup. So if you were just, I'm actually a C cup in a sewing pattern at the moment. I have a 3-inch difference between my upper bust and my full bust, so I don't have to do FBAs right now on Colette and Seamwork patterns, which is fantastic. And this means they're knit patterns too. Their sloper their block that they draft off of is a C cup, which, you still may have to make FBAs. When I was, my boobs were bigger and I was a little heavier, I did have to do an FBA still, but just not as large of one. So the smaller amount you have to do for an FBA, the less distortion you get in the pattern, so the more you can kind of get away with. So that's a fantastic place to look for that. Okay, more patterns that I've not tried, but I did a whole bunch of research on this before filming this, but In-House Patterns has cup sizes for some of theirs. Muse Patterns, they have a B cup and a D cup option for their patterns, and Muse Patterns is actually drafted for a tall woman. I think for like a 5'11" model, I believe. So if you have longer arms and legs and you are taller, this is the company for you. But she does have B cup and D cup options for her patterns, which is amazing. Silhouette Patterns, they have cup size options with all theirs, and their pattern catalog is very extensive. They've got a ton of things, and she also does a lot of YouTube videos on how to sew her patterns, so that's definitely one to look at. Liesl & Co. This is Oliver and S, or the Lisette Patterns with Butterick. This is all the same company, the same gal, but Liesl & Co. is her independent pattern line, and she does do cup sizes in some of her woven tops. So that's amazing, because she does a really great job on her stuff as well. Let's see. Bella Sunshine is one I've not tried, but she does have FBA options for knit patterns, which is amazing. I've done a video on how to do an FBA on a knit pattern, so you don't have to add a dart, but it's fantastic. It's already done for you. Sis Boom is another one that I found. Again, I've not sewn any of her stuff, but she does have some options. Deer and Doe Patterns are drafted for a C/D cup. She drafts for the hourglass figure. So she drafts for a little bit narrower waist with fuller bust and fuller hips. But yeah, she does do for a C or D cup, so it makes fitting those very easy as well. True Bias also drafts for a C cup. So again, these companies that draft for a little bit larger than a B cup do make, if you do still have to do an FBA, you know, you have to do an FBA, but it's just a little bit less of one that you might have to do, so that's always nice. Megan Nielsen, her new curve collection that she's come out with. So she is re-releasing all of her patterns, I think eventually all of them, into her curve line, which I think starts at a size 14, which is what I am in her patterns, and then goes up. But her curve collection is drafted for a D cup. Her regular collection is still just drafted for a B cup, but for instance, her Eucalypt dress was just re-released in the curve collection, and that one does not have bust darts in the regular collection, but in the curve collection it does have bust darts, which is huge, and is drafted again for a D cup in her curve collection, which I think is great. Helen's Closet, she is now starting to re-release a whole bunch of her patterns in an extended size range, and she does have the Blackwood cardigan that was recently released with a D cup, drafted for a D cup, which is fantastic. So her sizes 12 through 30 are all drafted for a D cup. And I love when they start down a little bit lower on that size range and then go on up, because that just encapsulates a lot more people. Let's see, Chalk and Notch Patterns are starting to re-release some of their patterns. I have their Orchid Mini dress right now, Orchid Midi dress, that is also one of the Sew My Style patterns for June, and they have a CD front and then an AB front for that dress. So that's a new release that's just come out, and I would assume that she's probably going to be doing that with a lot more of her patterns, is my guess. And then finally, yes, finally, Wardrobe by Me. I have not made any of their cup size patterns, but I have made their Hepburn pants, my funky white and blue shorts. They were a Sew My Style pattern for April, and I was very impressed with the level of instructions and that kind of thing and the drafting on that pair of pants. So I would assume, again, I would be very comfortable in trying their woven top patterns as well, and they do have patterns that have cup sizes, so that's very exciting. Okay, so that is kind of my list right now of pattern companies that are large bust friendly. Again, if you have any more that you know of, list them down below. I'm always looking for cup size patterns, because again, that just takes a lot of steps out for myself, and I'm sure many of you out there as well. So yeah, so leave comments down below, and we can have a conversation, and maybe I could even do another follow-up video if I have enough patterns to go back and kind of let everyone else know about as well. All right, the second part, I just wanted to talk. We are right now getting into this last week of our 30% off coupon for Smuggler's Daughter fabric. So I don't want you guys to miss out on that, because again, that's 30% off, and it's everything. And right now I noticed that her patterns are 25% off that she's got. So this would be an additional 30% off that. And this is also an additional 30% off her Steals and Deals area, which some of them are end cuts and some of them are just fabric that have been discounted. But I'm looking on here, and two fabrics I've purchased recently. So my faux fur bomber, I'll pop hopefully a picture of the fabrics up here. But the faux fur Francesca, she has an end cut, a piece of that's still available. And then also Blue Sky Smilin'. I just recently purchased that too. It's a real lightweight, like a cotton lawn kind of, that I'll be using here in my summer capsules here real soon. And again, there's more options here. I'm just wanting to touch on a few. She's got some gorgeous rayons. Okay. So rayons are perfect for summer. And again, with the patterns I just listed, I talked about the Orchid Mini, and also the Jennifer Lauren Quincy dress. Their recommended fabrics include rayon and things that are a little more drapey. So both of these would work for that. I've got Diamond Girl. You guys know how I feel about blue and white, and I'm sorry. But this rayon just speaks to me. And again, Smuggler's Daughter, she handpicks all of her fabrics. She actually goes to the jobbers and picks them out herself. So these are just some really fine quality. This one is 100% rayon, and it's gorgeous, and I would make a dress out of this hands down. I'm also in love with this Purple Rain rayon. Again, any kind of drapey summer dress. The new Cashmere I can't remember the name of it. The new cashmere dress, though, I'll pop it back up here again. Oh my gosh, would be gorgeous in this. Just all the happy vibes about that. She's got some gorgeous cottons that are right now, some stretch cottons. She has some stretch wovens, period. She has some stretch linens that are on there that you need to go check out, and those are under the stretch woven tab. But she also has this Karen Kane Mosaic Blossoms that is gorgeous. This would make such a fun fabric to build a capsule off of, I feel like. So you could do them as pants or shorts, or you could do it as a dress if you're not into having a lot of busyness on your lower half. A dress would be gorgeous in this, any kind of fitted bodice, because it's stretched, it'll give you room to move, or a jacket would be beautiful in this as well. And it's just wonderful summer colors. She's got some gorgeous silk that's on there, especially this Some Like It Hot silk charmeuse. It's 100% silk, 45 inches wide, but it's a nice blue red, and I mean, come on. Who wouldn't love a button down in a silk charmeuse, or a tank, a cami of some sort? I mean, silk in the summer, you just can't go wrong. Another silk that she has on here, this Handle with Care, and it is, for some reason I was thinking it was a designer one, but maybe not. It's 54 inches wide. It's a cotton silk blend, but I love the colors in this. And it's all these hands. It's called oh, it's just so cute. I think the print on it is just very, very cute. Okay, again with the linens, she has a lot of solid linens in gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Let's see, there's a lovely lavender color, a spearmint, a French blue, a sky blue. She even has kind of this olivey green asparagus color that's gorgeous. Yes, to all of those. And she has, I'll pop a picture of this one, called April Showers. I think she only has a yard of this left, though, looking down at this. But I loved this fabric. This print is just gorgeous. I wish she had more, because I think I would have bought a lot more of that. Okay, in her knit section, which the link has been fixed, she has some gorgeous Pontes and the medium weight knits. And her, I mean, check to be sure, but the one I'm looking at is the China Blue Ponte. I'll pop a picture. Gorgeous color of blue, and it's a viscose nylon blend, which is my favorite blend of Ponte. A viscose nylon, I think, is just very nice. In her lighter weight linen or knits, she has this beautiful green lightweight sweater knit, and I own this. And this is going to become a cardigan, I think, in the fall. It's gorgeous. Like, again, I have it. I've not made anything with it yet, but the color on it is beautiful. It's a dark green, but got some blue. It's a green with some blue in it, and it's just, it feels heavenly. She also has this Chico's knit. That again, I think would be wonderful to base a little module capsule wardrobe on, because the colors in this are amazing for summer. And it's a Chico's knit. It's a rayon spandex, and just the print on it I think is amazing. What else we got here? Oh, this Encore. This is a, I think it's black, but it's got lavender and teal on it. I just think this abstract print is gorgeous. It is a rayon blend, and I mean, how could you, a nice summer dress in rayon knit, I mean, you can't go wrong. And then finally, this woven cotton. This is a cotton jacquard, and the colors, again, I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for blue. But the colors in this, a pair of shorts or a jacket, or even better, a suit, a jacket with a pair of shorts would just be phenomenal in this. I may be ordering some of this because it's gorgeous. So anyway, I just wanted to highlight some of these fabrics because, again, we are getting close to the end of the 30% off discount, and I just didn't want anyone to miss out. That's good through Friday, so that you can use it all the way through the end of Friday, and I'll put the code down below that will get you the 30% off. And again, if you're in the US, it's free shipping if you spend over $100. She does ship internationally, but it is regular shipping rates apply to international shipping. But again, if you're in the US, it's free over $100. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope that was helpful, guys, as we're getting into the summer months and you're wanting to make some more dresses and cool tops and just anything that can alleviate those fitting issues, or just give you more confidence. And I very rarely make a muslin. If I'm using super expensive fabric, then yes, I usually will. Or even something like, although I made my Chica Blazer without making a muslin, and it just fit like a dream coming right out of the gate. So I like to live on the edge. But anyway, I hope this is helpful to you guys. And again, if you have any more pattern companies that you have found that are great for larger busts or that have the cup sizes, let me know in the comments below, and if I have enough, I'll do another follow-up video later. All right, that's all I have for you today. I will see you Friday with my Module 3. And then next Tuesday I'll be doing the whole roundup of Me Made May and what I kind of learned in just wearing nothing but my first 2 modules for my spring wardrobe. And yeah, that's what we've got going forward. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you on Friday.